Welcome back to Core Motivations Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Conley. I'm a certified Enneagram coach and a Symbis marriage coach. Yes, my voice sounds a little different today. I really didn't think I'd make it this week to post an episode. So, better to be late. Late is better than not at all. Better to be late than never, but better on time than late. I'm not just late. I'm just running on a different time zone. Delayed, not denied. Well, whatever the saying is, I'm here now. And I just want to say thanks for waiting. So why posting today instead of our regular Mondays? Well, that takes me back to last Friday. I know you were wanting a bedtime story, but sadly, this is not that. Last Friday was an incredible day. There I was, minding my own business, doing laundry, of course, when out of nowhere, the dryer ball, those wool ball shaped dryer sheet replacements that can be used over and over again because aren't we all environmentally conscious? And wouldn't you know it, the stinking wool ball jumps out of the dryer and starts rolling. I'm shouting. Okay. In my mind, I'm shouting, but definitely talking to myself out loud because no one else was around and they really wouldn't understand the conversation anyways. So there it is, that ball wildly out of control, racing toward the cat box, which of course is way on the other side of the room. So nothing will be bothered by it. The cat boxes, of course. This crazy ball is rolling right towards the cat bathroom. And so, of course, I must chase after it and rescue it or something like that. I mean, was I thinking that doesn't matter? No. Was I thinking it could be washed? Of course not. Was I thinking this is the most important thing to stop the ball from getting soiled? Well, actually, that part is true. I was saying, yes, this is the most important thing in that moment. Was I thinking I want to prove to myself I can still do gymnastics? Let me think. No. But there I was, chasing after this stupid, oh, sorry, you're not stupid. You help with so much. I mean, this most amazing dryer ball ever. Remembering it needed to be rescued from this impending doom. Unbeknownst to me, there was water. Well, I think it was water. I know you're thinking, ooh, yuck. It was water. I checked. So, of course, the logical thing to do is hydroplane on my knee across the room, falling on my hip, ankle, and arm. I think I managed to be an overachiever and touch all part of my body on the floor. I could totally win a game of Twister, but truly, I digressed. So there I sat on the ground, writhing in pain, and that dryer ball is just laughing at me, arm's length away, actually too far for me to reach in this crazy pose as the laughter gets louder. Not my laughter, might I add, sitting in that yucky, gross litter, that darn ball. After all of that, I couldn't just leave it there. So there I am, skinned kneed, bruises forming on contact, but of course, I needed to complete the job. Rescue the ball. I wriggled myself off the floor, reached and grabbed the darn thing, and muster up the strength, dropped the wool creature death trap, into the laundry, hobble over to the freezer to get the wonderful ice pack, which, believe me, if you could see the plethora of ice packs, not that we need them because I never do this, get hurt, that is. Of course, sadly, I know people who have stories. Believe me, just ask my sister when I went to visit her in Bend. Anyways, I digressed again. So I hobbled over to the couch, sitting with my ice pack, as I can hear from the muffled laundry basket, the wool ball laughing. Ugh. So that's Friday. I thought, I'm okay. A couple of bruises. They will heal. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. I always squeal when showing my excitement in a situation like this. Of course, this takes us into Saturday. Woke up pretty sore. I mean, of course, no big deal, right? I didn't have too many plans except, well, life, which always comes with a plan. When my husband reminded me that we need to go to the bank to take care of, well, bank stuff, of course. So I say, I'll go quick and get some appropriate go out of the house clothes. Oh, and might I add, the outfit I picked was so cute. So there I am in the closet, picking out the cutest go to the bank outfit. When I bend over to get my shorts, and man, I don't know what I did, but it felt horrible. It sounded, well, I don't know if there was a sound, except for me. Oh my goodness, that hurt so bad. I can now barely stand, but I'm a trooper. I mean, we have to go to the bank to do, well, bank stuff. I continue to put on my super cute bank outfit and kind of walking strangely at this point, I continue to get ready to leave the house. The whole time saying, my back hurts. I don't know how many times this was out loud, but what a crazy pain. That hurts. This hurts my back. My back hurts. What the heck? Oh my goodness. My back hurts. After we went to the bank, still writhing in pain, of course, the next logical thing to do is go get a DB drink. Dutch Bros, for those that don't know, but you should. No judgment. Okay, maybe a little. We get our drinks, which was not a good representation, which is what I really needed. Sorry if any of you listening work at DB and do your best to keep standards up. Anyways, we got home. I can at this point barely get out of the car, but I had the cutest bank outfit ever. I finally get settled in to the house and allow myself to really feel the pain. And I realize I was messed up. But did I go to the doctor, which would have meant going to the ER? Of course not. Why would I do that? So I gather some basic clothes that some might refer to as comfy cozies. But if you're in so much pain, maybe they are considered your battle clothes. I grab, well, I'm not sure that is how it went, and sort of walked over to the couch and plopped down. Did I tell you we had plans to watch the World Cup, both Saturday and the final on Sunday, to which I saw very little of because I was sleeping a lot to help me get through the pain. Did I mention I happen to be allergic to all pain meds? Yep, that's right. Super fun. Anyways, recording day came and went. Saturday night was horrible. Sunday was worse. I actually at one point thought I might die. Okay, a little dramatic, but man, it hurt. By Sunday, I couldn't walk at all. So that would be Saturday, then Sunday, Monday, and even Tuesday. Oh, sorry, this might be a little TMI. I did find a way to make it to the bathroom, but that was no party either. By Tuesday, the pain was getting a little bit better, but I still was standing firm in my I'm not going to the doctor. I started to be a little more mobile with grunts and all, walking a little bit. So by Thursday, I was sitting, and well, that brings us to today, Friday. Are you exhausted? I'm sure you thought the story was never going to end. Me too. But sadly, the healing continues. So why share this? Oh my goodness. Long story. Well, you see, I learned some things. Obviously, not well, might I add. This is not the first time I'm hearing these things, but maybe 20th time is a charm. Who knows? Maybe I will get it locked in, and perhaps someone who is dealing with things rolling away from them will just let it be. So here's the things that I learned. Things are only urgent when I make them, unless, of course, they actually are emergencies. It is important to move with purpose. Take time to assess the situation, then proceed. Slow and steady wins the race. It's not considered dilly-dallying if I go at my pace, where we can take this opportunity also to teach those around you to pace themselves. Stop, drop, and no, don't do that. Stop, survey, process, make a plan, then move. So, why are these things important? Well, first, I believe this is important because by moving with purpose, you're giving yourself the opportunity to take in your surroundings, to make wise, right choices. But you're also teaching those around you to give you the space to figure it out. Maybe even teaching them as well that things can wait. Nothing bad is going to happen. So let's give it a minute. If you're interested in that topic, there's a blog, which I'll put in the show notes, and it's about mindful moving and the importance of slow movement and all the things we miss when we rush. Continuing on with that thought process, stopping gives you that space. Stopping helps you to think about what is important in this very moment. Asking, can it wait? Whatever the thing that needs to wait, does it really need to be done right now or right then? Will someone die if I wait? Well, I hope not. But for today, let's assume that is not the case. This process continues with this concept of surveying. Am I in the right headspace to make a decision? Do I need more information? Should I pace myself? Is everything intact? I have all my body parts with me, nothing got left behind. See what I did there? A little accident humor. It's okay if you're not laughing. I'm laughing for all of us. Process can be in tandem with surveying, processing how I'm feeling in this moment. How do I take care of my own needs? The whole put on your oxygen mask before you help others and checking in with yourself. It is okay if I just sit here and wait. I say, of course it is. Yes, yes, yes. Wait. Okay, now we're going to make a plan. When I do walk over to get said dryer ball, I'm not going to rush. I can sit there until I am ready. No urgency here. Oh, and come on, the darn thing, it could be washed. Making a plan, taking into account what is the next thing I need to do, can do, or willing to do. Then, with all this information collected, you're ready to take the next step, which is to make the move. Move forward with confidence. There is also scientific support that there are healthy benefits to slow movement. Scientific evidence supports moving slowly, showing benefits for physical stability, even the nervous system regulation, and cognitive focus. The research takes place across neuroscience, exercise science, psychology highlights specific advantages to a slower pace. Rushing hides strain and tension in your body, whereas slow movement helps you drop unnecessary stress, which is called tissue awareness. With slow motion exercise and deliberate movements like Tai Chi, increase time under tension, improving muscle activation and joint stability while lowering injury risks. We have better muscle control. I wish I would have known this a week ago. Slow movements allow the brain and nervous system to process sensory feedback, helping to release hidden muscle tension and correct poor posture habits, which allows for nervous system recovery. So, when we're intentional slow pacing, it lowers cortisol levels, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reducing overall anxiety and perceived burnout, which aids in stress reduction. There are so many benefits for purposeful movement. So, a couple of last things to take with you. Waiting causes you to make better choices. For example, listening to self. Waiting brings more value and meaning as there is reward at the end. The saying, good things come to those who wait. I read recently this concept of waiting well as opposed to forcing something to happen. This concept is equally supported through many examples in the Bible. The importance of how not waiting, it brings consequences, in many cases causing chaos and bad things to happen. But if each person were to wait as God asked them to do, they would have received the already planned blessings in the waiting, the blessings that were coming. There is the act of waiting where you do nothing. It is trusting that if you wait well, the answers will come. Might I add, all these things can also be supported in the Bible. Waiting is always for a purpose. Like for me, after my injury, I have to wait for my body to heal. And of course, I'm waiting for my mind to catch up. I'm getting to wait. I'm trying not to laugh at that, but really, it is giving me the time to rest and recover. And in this case, as all my past injuries have done, it's really forcing me to pause, slow down, and just be. I read another example of this waiting example. Don't we wait for the yummy treats baking in the oven and all the stages it has to go through to be something that we can eat? Or what about the something we put in the garden to grow? Both of these examples are about process and what they each need to go through during this waiting. And in turn, in this case, we receive the reward. I'm sure you're grasping the concept by now. Does this mean I won't take a spill again? Well, I certainly hope not. I'm not rushing to do that again. And you better believe me, I won't blame the stupid question that was asked at my doctor's appointment literally the day before I fell. The question being, have you had any falls in the last 6 months? Ugh. That topic will have to wait for another episode. And we'll call it something like the irony of stupid questions. So, what can you learn through my injury and accident? Nothing, perhaps. Or maybe I'm just taking one for the team. You're welcome, and you can thank me later. Truth is, I can't answer what that is for you, but here's the recap I shared and the lessons one might take away. When we take a moment, pause, assess the situation, realizing this is not an emergency. Include in this assessment waiting period to tell those around you, please just leave it. As my husband said the other day before he left for work, if something falls on the floor and is not dangerous, just leave it. I'll take care of it when I get home. And believe you me, I did just that. I left all kinds of things on the floor that fell. Maybe I'm learning the lesson? I want us to remember there is purpose to stopping, surveying, processing, making a plan, and then moving. These things will help you make perhaps the best decision in so many things that we do in life. And as we said, back in a little town on the coast we used to live in, there's no hurry and curry. Oh, one final thought to share with you. The legal stuff. This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. This podcast is not a substitute for medical care. The materials, movies, videos, or books referred to in this podcast are recommendations only. The views expressed by our guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the podcast host. That's me or sponsors. Join me each week as we dive into all things Enneagram, self-care ideas, self-love patterns and rhythms, share ideas from other reputable authors, doctors, and my favorite podcasters. Thank you so much for being here with me today on Core Motivations Podcast, as we just didn't know that we would be here at all this week. Where can you find me, Michelle? Well, look on Instagram at coremotivations_coach or through email, michelle@coremotivationscoach.com. And if you haven't already, I would so love for you to give us a follow and rate the podcast and share it with someone that could use a little encouragement. These shares, follows, and reviews is how we spread the word and help others to find us wherever you listen. So let me leave you with this. Until next time. And as always, I'm rooting for you.